Russia's newest diesel-electric submarine, Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, launched a Caliber cruise missile from the Sea of Japan, hitting a coastal target around 1,000 kilometers or 621 miles away. The Russian Navy's Pacific Fleet said in a statement, "The Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky launched a cruise missile of the Caliber complex at a ground target from a submerged position in the Sea of Japan. At the estimated time, the missile hit the coastal target position on the tactical field of Surkum in the Khabarovsk region. The firing range exceeded 1,000 kilometers. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Kilo-class submarine Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky launching Caliber missile is a deadly combination. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky is a Project 636.3 submarine. The class is having NATO reporting name of Improved Kilo 2. The Russian Kilo-class submarine is nothing new. It's been around in some form or another since the 1980s, but the class has seen continuous improvement over the years. Project 636.3 is the latest incremental update of Kilo-class. Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky was laid down at the Admiralty Shipyard on July 28, 2017. It was floated out on March 28, 2019. It entered service with the Russian Navy on November 25, 2019, after passing trials. The Kilo-class submarines have a length of around 70 to 74 meters, a displacement of 2,300 to 2,350 tons when surfaced, and around 3,000 to 4,000 tons when submerged. So the submarines are relatively small. For example, the American Virginia class has a length of 115 meters and displaces around 7,900 tons. The small profile is a well-thought-out design decision by Russia and makes the submarine hard to detect. It's propelled by a diesel-electric system that has 5,900 shaft horsepower, 4,400 kilowatts power output. Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, like all improved Kilo class, has a max speed of 10 to 12 knots. That's about 18 to 22 kilometers per hour when surfaced, and 17 to 25 knots, or 31 to 46 kilometers per hour, when submerged. The submarine has an impressive range of 8,600 miles, or about 13,900 kilometers with a diesel engine, and 460 miles, or 740 kilometers, when employing electric propulsion using its storage batteries. The maximum depth of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky is thought to be 300 meters, though exact details are kept under wraps. The class is reported to have a 45 days sea endurance. Though Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky has a compact profile, the submarine possesses an excellent armament, which includes 1. 6 533mm torpedo tubes for a total of 18 torpedoes. 2. 4 Caliber or club missiles for land attack, anti-ship missile, and anti-submarine role. 3. 24 mines. 4. 8 Strela 3 or 8 Igla 1 surface-to-air missiles. Some variants of Caliber are equivalent to the American Tomahawk cruise missile in many parameters such as range, warhead, and propulsion. These have a range of 2,500 kilometers or 1,554 miles, are equipped with a 450 kilogram or 1,000 pound high explosive warhead, and are powered by a turbofan engine. Similar to Tomahawk, they have a speed of Mach 0.8. There are some variants of the missile that have second-stage propulsion, enabling a supersonic sprint in the terminal approach to the target, which reduces the reaction time. Importantly, Caliber can be armed with nuclear warheads. Here is an incident from 2017 that indicates how tough it is to detect the improved Kilo-class submarine. Russia had warned NATO that Krasnodar, which has the same configuration as Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, would be passing through the blue waters of the Mediterranean towards the Black Sea, which will be its home. NATO knew the new submarine was passing by, and new submarines are items of keen interest since any information could be useful in a future conflict. Several specialist NATO assets were on the lookout, including the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS George H.W. Bush, which put its sea-scanning Seahawk helicopters to the task. P-8 Poseidon sub-hunting aircraft based in Italy, as well as Britain's HMS Somerset. But the Russians weren't going to play ball. The submarine had traveled on the surface, in plain sight, and didn't submerge. When it reached Libya, Russia's defense ministry abruptly warned international airlines that it would be taking part in military exercises off the coast. NATO lost Krasnodar in the middle of the exercise, and out of the blue, on May 29th, a series of cruise missiles tore through the air towards targets around Syria's besieged city of Palmyra. They were Russian missiles, and they came from the Krasnodar. The submarine was able to move from Libya to Syria, a distance of more than 2,000 kilometers, or 1,245 miles, undetected, even with a significant number of NATO assets trying to track it. The incident changed how the improved Kilo class is looked upon by the world. Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, being an improved Kilo-class submarine, poses a serious challenge to the US and NATO. Comparatively much cheaper than American supercarriers, but these can still threaten the prized asset of US Navy, Nimitz, and Ford-class warships. This is where Russia's good at, developing asymmetric weapons through which it can put up a fight against an adversary like America, whose defense budget at more than $700 billion is around 10 times the Russian budget. Russian submarine activities have spiked since 2018, and the submarines like Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, which are armed with long-range Caliber cruise missiles, are a serious challenge to its adversary. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.